What's up, YouTube? Emilio from the Card Guys here, and today we're going to be talking about reprints and how they've affected the market and what they mean for the game. Before I get started, I just want to introduce myself. My name is Emilio Torres. I'm a 16-year-old Yu-Gi-Oh player who lives in Seattle, Washington, and I love making videos and talking about the game. And recently, I've been added to the Card Guys official media team, along with Aaron McInnes, Connor Albery, Anthony White, and Dean Arbuckle. We were asked by Kyle to come along on this journey to kind of create content for the channel and help the channel grow. So we'll be creating videos along with Kyle and Blair for the foreseeable future. If you saw the kind of team introduction promo video that was uploaded onto this channel, that was edited by me. So if you like that video and would like to see more content like it, I'll probably be editing videos like that going forward. But for today, we're just talking about reprints and what they mean. So if you're living underneath a rock, you may not know about some reprints that have happened in the game. Obviously, the biggest thing that happened today is that Pot of Desires was announced, confirmed to be a promo in the Megatins this fall. People assumed that Pot of Desires was going to be reprinted as a secret rare in the packs in the Megatins, but in actuality, Konami has confirmed that Pot of Desires will be an ultra rare foil that comes in every single Megatin. Whether you get the Kaibatin or the Yugi-Tin, you'll get an ultra rare Pot of Desires. And this is honestly really crazy. It's crazy because this card, which used to be like at one point, Pot of Desires reached $100, $300 for a playset. This card is now going to be reprinted as a promo in a set in the fall. And normally these promos go for a couple bucks. If you look at Norden when it came out, you could easily get a Norden for $5. So in the fall, when like every tin is going to have a Pot of Desires, you're going to be able to get a playset of Pot of Desires for like $15. And that's crazy to me. Especially because the playset of Desires at one point was $300. It did go down a little bit when Zodiac came out because Pot of Desires is not very useful in Zodiac because you don't want to banish your rats. But since Zoo got hit and Paleo became more popular, and some people have even tried putting Pot of Desires in their Zoo decks, the price of Pot of Desires raised again a little bit and actually reached $65, $70, $55. Kind of between 55 and 70 is where it's at, which was kind of a normal market price. 65 is kind of where you typically saw it on eBay and stuff like that. And here, you can even see a listing on eBay from someone who was trying to sell for $65. 65 is like very, very usual for what it was a few days ago. But since the reprint has been confirmed, if you look on TCG Player, Pot of Desires is going for $39. From this vendor right here. The vendor is Resurrected Games. They have 3 of them. They're lightly played for $39, but they only go up to $44 for near mint. Like $120 max for a playset. That's pretty good considering it used to be a $300 playset, and that's only of the course of one day. I could see this card going lower even more. Like it could be a $35 card for a near mint. I could see that happening over the course of the next week. And then once the actual reprint happens, I could see the card going even lower than that. This could be a $20 card by next fall easily. And that's just crazy with how expensive it used to be, especially because everyone will have access to the ultra rare. What I think this means for the game is I think that Konami probably knows that this card will still be a staple into Link format, and that if it's a staple, they want, especially because it's been out for a year at that point, I think they want players to have access to the card. All players, no matter their wallet size. So putting it in the tins will make it a $5 card. Everyone will have access to put it in their deck. I could still see it being limited or semi-limited because it's a pretty ridiculous card, but I definitely feel like it's going to be around, at least for Link format, judging by the fact that they wanted to make it available to everyone. But it's just crazy to see how quickly in this game an announcement or a reprint or like the sometimes even the announcement of a card that makes a certain deck bad, like prices change so quickly in Yu-Gi-Oh! And it's very important to stay on top of the prices in Yu-Gi-Oh! And so Pot of Desires, $39 light play, $44, $45 for near mint. Ooh, very, very cheap, guys. Very, very exciting for the game because it means if you couldn't afford a Pot of Desires before and you needed one, you can now afford one. But in terms of other reprints, another really interesting thing that's happened is that they announced Battles of Legend Lights Revenge on Konami's website, Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading card game. This is a Dragons of Legend type set that's going to come out in July, like literally the week before Nationals. And it's going to have some new cards, but a lot of reprints too. And the most exciting reprint you can see right here bolded was they announced that Minerva, the Exalted Lightsworn, is being reprinted, which is pretty crazy. If you think about it, because this is a prize card that goes for like $1,000, and now they're just reprinting it this July as a card in the set. And assuming it's like a normal Dragon's Legend, where Dragon's Legend has super rares and secret rare, I definitely feel like Minerva's going to be a secret rare, so it could be hard to be pulled from the set, but it's definitely going to be a lot easier to get than a prize card. And a lot of times you only need one, so I could see it being maybe like a $50 card, maybe higher, but all I know is it's going to be far less than $1,000. And because of that, again, when reprints change prices, I've seen people trying to sell their super rares because they feel like their super rares are going to lose a lot of their value because the exclusivity of the card will no longer exist. You saw that with Giant Hand when it got reprinted in the gold set. It happens a lot in this game. A really, really expensive card that only a few have gets reprinted, and the card price tanks. I think if you have an ultra rare of this card, you shouldn't be as worried because those still have a lot of collectible value, but I still feel like it's not going to be as expensive. It may drop a few $100s, which is pretty devastating for some people depending how much money they paid on an ultra rare Minerva. But it is also exciting for the game because Minerva is a very good combo Xseed piece that can be used in a lot of decks, and now it will be utilized by everyone at Nationals, so you may see a lot more Lightsworn decks being played at Nationals than usual. But even more interesting in this pack image, although it's not clearly stated in the information of the set, if you look at the picture of the pack, you'll see Crystal Wing is on the right side of the picture next to two other monsters. I don't know the name of those monsters, sadly, but Crystal Wing is, of course, confirmed in Battles of Legend. And this is very interesting because Crystal Wing, again, just like Pot of Desires, was like a $60 card. Here's a listing for $55, which is about where it was a little bit ago. This card saw hype because it was useful in DDD, it was useful in Invoked Wind Witch Artifact, because Wind Witches make this first turn for free. One card Crystal Wing. And it's just always been a very good synchro monster. It was not reprinted in the Megatons last year, so it just had a lot of exclusivity around it. But of course, now it's going to be reprinted. Again, it could be reprinted again as a secret if this Dragon's Legend set has secrets and supers, but it could be reprinted as a super. If it's reprinted as super, then that would really, really tank the price of this card. And again, just like Pot of Desires, vendors took notice that this card is going to get reprinted and then change the price accordingly. You can get a first ed near mint Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon on TCG Player for $39. This highly contrasts the $55 price mark that it used to have. Again, you're just seeing time and time again, an announcement of a reprint, an announcement of a new card makes the card market change a lot. And this reminds me very much of the Ninja Grandmaster Hanzo Tins in 2012. If you played during that time, you may remember, but if you didn't, I'll enlighten you. At this time, was, again, in the fall, it was around the same time where that year, Rescue Rabbit, Chaos Dragons, Wind-Ups, a lot of these famously really good decks were dominating the game, and they all had very, very expensive cards with them. You had Tour Guide, you had Maxi, you had Rescue Rabbit. All these cards were pretty expensive at the time, and then this Ninja Grandmaster Hanzo Tin came out, and it reprinted Rescue Rabbit, it reprinted Maxi, and it reprinted Tour Guide. And it, again, fluctuated the prices so much of these really expensive cards. All of these cards are very similar to Crystal Wing and Pot of Desires, very expensive, and when they got reprinted as they're going to be super rares and everyone could get them, the price tanked. And we see this time and time again, and sometimes it's really good for the community because it helps players who want to play competitively but don't have the same money. They can play competitively with these reprints, but it also hurts people because they've invested hundreds of dollars into a deck and then they find out it gets reprinted as a card that anyone can get, and if they just waited a little longer, then they probably could have spent less money. So go ahead and comment down below what your opinions on the reprints are. Do you think that it's good that Konami reprints expensive cards, that everyone has access to them, or are you someone who thinks that Konami should keep cards that are expensive a little longer so that they have more exclusivity and it's harder for just anyone to play very powerful cards? I'd love to hear your guys' opinion. Personally, I own Pot of Desires, so I'm not happy about the reprint, but I feel like it is good for the community to get really expensive cards reprinted so that a lot of people can play them. Crystal Wing is a good card. I think it's a synchro card that everyone should have access to, and so it'll be really interesting to see if the prices go down furthermore. I make sure you guys keep checking TCG Player and eBay to keep up to date on prices. Remember, guys, reprints change prices all the time. It's very important to stay up to date. Anyways, this is my video. I'm Emilio with the Card Guys, and I'll see you guys next time.